Okay, today, seventh graders, you are going to finish the chapter 5. So you'll be reading pages 81 to 89. And before you do, let's make sure that we understand what's going on. I'm going to load this on YouTube, and then I'll be doing something else with it because that way I'm going to check and see if you are watching. Hopefully, you read the first part of the chapter and you realized that Lizzie fell and got hurt. So hurt, in fact, that she is going to pass out or is kind of coming in and out of consciousness. And so they put her in the dory. And the idea is that Turner is supposed to row her back to Malaga Island. Well, that hardly goes as they plan to. And he's basically rowing in circles, getting caught in the current and everything else, which is what you're seeing right there. And on page 78, of course, we saw that she asked him, Turner, can you row? Have you ever even rowed a boat before? And pretty much she had not. And then, of course, he's going to try to touch the whale. But now the next one, yikes. Turner and Lizzie are out in the dory as they get lost, and they are out there pretty much the whole night. And people obviously start to begin to worry about Turner. And it's going to happen. Please, please pay close attention to pages 86 to 89, to the dialogue that's going to happen. They are going to find Turner in the boat with Lizzie, and that is not going to go over well. I want to read just a little bit to you from that, from this reading, and when they finally get a hold of him. Turner, I'm on page 86. Maybe get your book out and follow with. Turner, said Reverend Buckminster quietly. Turner looked at him. He thought, he's going to come apart. He's holding himself together as best he can, but he's going to come apart. Turner, whatever were you doing with that Negro girl? She was hurt. I was taking her back to the island. That's not what I mean. You know that's not what I mean. What were you doing with her in the first place? And now Reverend Buckminster says, Turner, no one on that island is fit company for a minister's son. Not a single one. Heaven only knows what goes on over there. But whatever it is, it's not for decent-minded folks to be around. Do you understand what I mean, Turner? Do you? Then Turner asks, should I have left her bleeding on the shore? Reverend Buckminster says, you shouldn't have been on the shore. You should be up doing whatever the other boys of the town are doing. You should be playing baseball with them or swimming or whatever they're up to. But instead, you're down on the shore with a Negro girl and then swept out with the tide. And what a great line, top of page 87. Turner says, I wonder, said Turner slowly, if it's only the folks on Malaga Island who can make you think what they want you to think. That is an incredible line that Turner is saying to his dad. In other words, he's telling his dad that it's the frock coats of Phippsburg who are making Reverend Buckminster think how he thinks. As a matter of fact, if you turn to page 88 at the very top, Mr. Stonecrop raised a craggy eyebrow. The congregation will wonder what he was doing on the shore with her in the first place, Mr. Stonecrop pointed out. Well, said Reverend Buckminster, the congregation must think what it will think. The congregation, minister, will tell you what it thinks and what it wants you to think, said Mr. Stonecrop. And the words wound like barbed wire around the Buckminsters. In other words, please follow and understand that Mr. Stonecrop is telling Reverend Buckminster what he needs to believe. And of course, he wants him to believe that everybody on Malaga is a thief, a scoundrel, and therefore worthy of being removed. Do note some of the hesitation with Reverend Buckminster after the last part that I read. I think right now Reverend Buckminster is very, very torn about wanting to do what the people of Phippsburg want him to do, but also understanding that that is not the right thing to do. When you are finished reading it, then answer the questions, all of the questions on the sheet. Be sure to go back to question number 2 and fill out 3 things that went wrong. And then be sure to turn it in Friday at 3 o'clock.